Hey guys, welcome to Picture Book Drama, where it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru, bringing you a new unboxing video. This time I'm bringing you from Kotobukiya ArtFx, the X-Men 1992 line. When we come back, we're going to show you what each of the boxes look like and what they have to offer. Then we're going to show you the figures individually. Then we're going to come back, look at everything again as a group, and I'll let you know whether or not they're worth the money. Stay tuned.
Sentinel under attack.
Alright guys, we're going to quickly run through these boxes because we want to get to what's inside of them. When you go to the store, this is exactly how they're going to look on the shelf. They have a very comic book accurate look to them, especially in the left hand corner with the nice faces on there. But you also see right over here, they show you exactly what these statues look like. Now these are 1/10 scale. They could be considered a model kit, they could be considered a statue because they are both. You do need to assemble these, which is very easy to do. As you can see right there, they just show you everything you need to know to put Wolverine and Jubilee together, just like with any of the other pieces that we're going to show you. Now, we do have Wolverine and Jubilee. Then they came out with Cyclops and Beast. Probably not my favorites out of the whole bunch, but they do still look great. Has the same information on there showing you that they're 1/10 scale. And on the back, you see that they have an easy snap fit connection to them. And I love the fact that they do show you on the back of the box, as you collect them, this picture gets bigger. Or should I say the number of statues in there get bigger. So, we're going to show you those two. Next up, you got Storm and Bishop. Gorgeous cover. Again, one thing I do like, and they do that on the back and the front. If you notice in the left hand corner, they keep adding faces to it. Beautiful. Anyone that is a comic book fan will love that. That looks so great. And then easy assembly. This one was actually one of the easier and hardest ones to put together, and I'll explain that further when we go into those figures themselves. So that is Storm and Bishop. We got the patriarch himself, Professor Xavier, looking like a boss. Love this. This is definitely taken from the 90s cartoon and the 90s comic books, because he's in the hover chair. Before that, he was just in a regular wheelchair. Love that so much. His is the most elaborate as far as how you have to put it together, because you do have to assemble the hover chair. It does also come with a clear base, which I love. I love the fact that there's a base that makes it stand higher up. Same thing with Storm, and any character in this line that flies has a base that makes them stand a little higher. And you'll see those when we go into the figures as well. But that is Professor Xavier. Next up, you got Mr. and Mrs. X. Gambit and Rogue. I love these two. I am so glad they actually married them off, because I'm tired of the whole romantic thing and them are they or aren't they type crap. They're married, move on. But I love this. You see there. Again, easy assembly. Cannot wait to show you Gambit, because he does have a little trick up his sleeve, if you will. And as you see right here, Rogue does come with that stand I was telling you about, so it gives her the illusion that she's floating. I love this picture right here. This shows you everyone that is in this set. That looks amazing. I love the fact they put cards back here too, because it's kind of reminiscent of Transformers and G.I. Joe from the 80s, when on the back of them you always had a card you can cut out. Then finally, you have Phoenix, my favorite in this entire line, which as we show you, you'll see why, but she is beautiful. Has a nice little stand that she can be clamped onto, so it again gives her the look that she's flying. And as usual, how you assemble it. Love it. Very easy. Out of all of them, the easiest one to put together. I thought it was going to be the most elaborate, but the Phoenix effect behind her is actually just two pieces. So when we come back, enough looking at boxes, let's look at the figures themselves. Alright guys, here they are out of the box. You got Wolverine and Jubilee looking just like they did in the animated series. Now we're going to get a little closer on it. I'll give you my opinions on what each figure looks like. Start off with Jubilee here. Love the way the face came out. It is such a great expressionist face on her. Look at that. Now I won't lie, I'm not a fan of the bright yellow. Stands out a little too much for me. But it works with her because her primary colors when she first came out were red, blue, and yellow. Very reminiscent to Robin. I think she was supposed to be like a Marvel version of Robin, like a sidekick for Wolverine. Speaking of Wolverine, classic yellow costume. Love the way he came out. The claws look great. Now you might need to do a little work with them when they come out. Sometimes they do tend to get bent towards each other, but it's nothing that you can't fix. Gorgeous piece here. Turn him around for you. I mean, he just looks great. I mean, I can't even really get too much of the detail on his back because the light's a little too bright, but they don't have a lot of detail to them to begin with. Not gonna say that they're a terrible piece, but just like with the animated series, very little detail on the figures. But I love it. I mean, look at him. He just looks great. And they even drew on some hair. Aw, how nice. Because he is supposed to be a little hairy bastard. But, I mean, look at these two together. This is an amazing piece. So, this is your Wolverine and Jubilee. When we come back, we'll see Beast and Cyclops. Alright, here they are, two of the original X-Men, Cyclops and the Beast, looking great. Now, with these, probably out of the entire set, these are probably my two least favorites because they're just a little too bland looking. Now, again, these should always be less detailed than some of the other ArtFx statues because it is based on an animated line. But I really wish Cyclops had more detail and he wasn't just so blue. I mean, the blue and the yellow, I mean, it's just too bright. I would have liked a little bit more shading in there to tone it down, but I know what they were going for. Beast, I mean, he's just blue. There's really not much to him. He comes in two parts, his upper half and lower half, put them together. Now, he does come with glasses, but I didn't take him out the box because I didn't want to lose him. But he does have a pair of glasses he could put on. Wow. With these, again, even though I say they're my least favorite of the entire set, they're still great pieces. Very reminiscent to the Jim Lee Chris Claremont run. I love them. I cannot wait to show you guys all of them together again because I think that's when they look their best. But when we come back, I'm going to show you Professor Xavier. Here he is, guys, the leader of the X-Men. The reason why they have the X in their name, Professor Xavier himself in his hover chair. Oh, I love this piece. This is one of my favorites in this entire line because they went with the hover chair compared to a regular wheelchair, and this just looks amazing. Definitely the most work you have to do to put it together because I think it's 6 or 7 pieces to put them together, but it doesn't take long. But be very careful. It can break on you. The back of his chair snaps onto the front of it. Those clips are very fragile. They can break. Actually, one of mine did, but luckily I had a bunch more that can clip onto it. But look at his face. I love how he looks here. You can definitely tell he's using his abilities. He's pointing at the X-Men, leading them into action. Oh, just a great piece. And it does come with that clear stand. So you can always post him anywhere and any way you want. Go ahead and give him a little bit of a spin. Just a beautiful piece. Not much detailing in the back, but enough to make it look really, really good. I love these. These are just so amazing. Really want a Magneto to put him next to Xavier, but who knows? We may get one in the future. But this one is definitely worth the money. So when we come back, I'm going to show you Storm and Bishop.
System breach.
Alright guys, we have royalty here. We have the Queen herself, Aurora Monroe, also known as Storm, one of the new X-Men that came out with Chris Claremont took over the X-Men, along with Bishop, one of the newer X-Men at the time. I just love the way these guys look. Now, I am not gonna lie, these are not perfect, especially Bishop. Bishop has one really big flaw. His top don't like to stay on. I wish I knew some girls like that, but it looks really great when you put them together and just leave them alone. I mean, it's a statue, so once you're done, just leave him on the shelf and leave him alone. But his colors are great. The blue really looks good with, again, more detail, but it's an animated piece and it still looks great. Love the big old gun, very reminiscent to Rob Liefeld, even though he didn't create Bishop. It just looks great. I love the fact that he has the long hair. He has that wonderful insignia right there, as well as the X-Men insignia there. Just a great looking piece. Aside from the top one to come off, it's perfect. Wish you could say the same for Storm. Even though she's easy to put together and she doesn't fall apart, the white is too much. I would have liked her in her original costume, which was black. But since this is based on the 92 X-Men, I see why they went with white. But I would like some detail in there because it's really white. I mean, the hair and the costume are almost the exact same color. The stand is a great touch. They did this for a couple of figures in here. Any character that flies has a stand, which is great. I mean, and I say great a lot because these are great figures. I love these two. Not my favorites in there. The next ones you see will be my favorites as we go towards the end. But as we come back, I'm going to show you Gambit and Rogue. Alright, here they are, Mr. and Mrs. X. We have Rogue and Gambit in the house. Loving these characters. You guys know that Rogue started off as a villain? She actually got a lot of her powers because she siphoned them from Miss Marvel. You can actually check that out on Avengers Annual number 10. Great issue. Michael Golden art in that. Fantastic. It actually took for her to get into the X-Men comic books for her to become a hero. And even that took a while. I love it. But I love her costume. I love the fact that she has a jacket, which in the 90s, everybody got a jacket. They did. But it works well with the yellow and the green to help tone it down. And like I said, with Storm, she has a nice little stand so that she can give the illusion that she's floating. And let's get it on that face. That looks like the animated series so much. That is so scary. But I love the way she came out. Maybe the white on the hair is a little too much, but that's nitpicking. Now we got Gambit. Gambit is a fan favorite. He came out in the early 90s or maybe late 80s. I think it was late 80s, early 90s when he debuted. And we weren't sure what he was going to be, hero or villain. But because he was so close to Storm, he eventually became a hero. Love that face. I love the fact that they went with the red dot eyes on here. Oh, so great. And I'll say it as I say with every character, I want more detail. Just shading, I should say. Not detail, because the detail's there, but I would love some shadow effects. Now, this does come with his staff, and I'm going to actually get him and turn him around for you, because he actually has a pair of cards. Come on, focus. There we go. I like that. The playing cards behind his back like that. That is awesome. That's definitely something that reminds me of Gambit. Okay, let's get this thing there. Give me a little bit more. Oops, sorry, wrong way. There we go. Now we see them together. He looks really good. I mean, I think the, I was going to say cape, but the jacket looks a little plasticky compared to everything else, but I am not going to throw this character away. I love this piece. I love all of them so far. Can't wait to show you the last one, which is... you just have to wait and see. Alright guys, we are to the final piece, my favorite piece. This is Jean Grey, also known as the Phoenix. just beautiful. I mean, the effects for her, can't beat it. I really wish they had gone to all this trouble for Storm to give her more of a tornado effect or something, but I'm not gonna complain. I want to give you guys a good look at that. But I mean, it is great looking. I'm gonna slowly come in on here because I love the colors on her. They actually went with the gold instead of yellow for her gloves, boots, and sash, which really stands out compared to the yellow of her insignia. So I really, really, really love this piece. I love the fire effect, the fact that it pegs in. So again, a character that flies, so she has the illusion of flying, but it looks great from every angle. Very easy to put together. It's really just torso and legs snapped together, and then you basically just peg her into the Phoenix effect. It's actually, I thought the Phoenix effect was going to be in multiple pieces, but it wasn't. Actually, it's just in 2 pieces. It's the big effect behind her, and then the little stand that comes with it that allows her to stand properly, which is right there. So you can see from the side, it just works so well. But let's go ahead and turn her back around because this is where all the money is. I would say out of all of them, this is my favorite. I mean, for obvious reasons. I love the hair sweeping out. Her face looks really good. And I like the fact that for all the women, the body types are different. They're not the same mold. Loving it. Loving it to death. So, when we come back, I'm going to put all of these together, and then we're going to decide, you and me, if it's worth it or not. So, stay tuned. Alright guys, you saw them individually, you saw their boxes, now we see them as one combined group. These are some really great statues, but they do have limitations. One of the problems I have, which is something that you really should be aware of, is that Kotobukiya, they don't always fit perfectly. Bishop, the top wants to come off all the time. I don't know why, his torso don't like his legs. Wolverine came out actually pretty good. I'm actually really amazed with how well he came out. As you've heard, I have a lot of gripes with Cyclops just because he's just so blue and yellow. Really would like some changes in that. Same thing with Storm. Just too white. Not enough shadow in there. Jubilee, while I do have some reservations, I should say, about that yellow jacket, she actually still looks pretty good with the yellow, red, and blue. By far the best one would be Jean Grey, because I love the fact that they did go with the gold instead of yellow for a costume. Because I think that yellow would have really made this piece look really bad. But with that gold in there, it actually looks like the best piece out of them. It actually looks more expensive than it is. Beast is, he's just all blue. Ain't really nothing I can say about him. He's not good, he's not bad, he's just there. Then you got Professor Xavier, which just looks amazing with that hover chair. I love the stand that comes on it to give him that extra height. Gambit, I mean, he looks good. I like the fact that they did give him the staff and the playing cards behind his back. Would have liked a little bit more detail in him as well. And basically the same thing for Rogue. Now, I have been saying over and over again that I really would like more detail in these. But the thing is, they're not really supposed to have that much detail because they're based on the animated series. Now, is it worth the money? Bet your ass it is. These are amazing pieces once you get all of them put together. Sentinel not included. But these look great. The only problem I have with these is you want more. I want Magneto. You gotta give me a Magneto. What about Colossus and Juggernaut in a 2-pack? I want to see Nightcrawler. I want Cable and Deadpool. I want Omega Red. I want all these characters that were in the animated series because they showed you characters that you would not get in a movie. I mean, they even had Banshee and Alpha Flight, so give me them. Now, my next question is, what's going to be next for them? because they did Spider-Man with the Spider-Verse. Even though they are individual pieces like these, when they're put together, they look great. Now, I want them to do Spider-Man the Animated Series, and of course, Batman the Animated Series. That would just be amazing to see them, but this is great. I love having them on a shelf like this will just look great. Maybe putting a poster of the X-Men behind them to give them more color. The Sentinel was my nephew's, but he stopped playing with it years ago, so I kind of just added it to my collection, which works out really well with the rest of these guys. So as you can see here, they just look great. So what do you guys think? Did you guys buy these, or are you waiting for other pieces? Are you waiting for someone to review them to let you know if it's worth it? Then wait no more. They are definitely worth it. Now, these aren't hard to find, but you have to know you're going to be paying damn near $600 for the entire set. If you buy them in a comic book store, you can save yourself on the shipping, but buy them online, guys. There's a lot less money. I got them through Big Bad Toy Store, so I probably saved myself about 150 bucks doing it this way. But do it the best way you can. Don't go to scalpers, please. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I am so happy to be back unboxing my pieces again. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button so you can always be up on what I'm having, all the videos I'm putting up, and hit that notification so you know when I drop them. But if you guys, for some reason, cannot make a comment down there, here's all the places below where you can hit me up at. Facebook is probably the second best place, and I love Facebook. There's so many great groups out there. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Remember, here at Picture Book Drama, it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, John, your video and comic guru, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.